I mean, when I first started, I was a bit more serious with Elaine, and it was like, I remember talking to Fresh, and he's like, add more of you to it. And I'm like, okay, what's the stuff that you love and all that? And I'm like, okay, 90s comedies are like one of my biggest aspirations. Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite films to watch. So I was like, I should just embrace the goofy side of me because I do have it.
Welcome to another electrifying episode of the Commentary Booth live via satellite, where we peel back the curtain on your favourite wrestlers and their cinematic inspirations. I'm your host, Jamie Apps, and today we're hitting the links to chat with an exciting guest who has incorporated sport and cinema into her wrestling persona. Joining us live via satellite, none other than Eleaine Hope.
Hi.
How's everything down in Victoria? Chilly, I imagine.
It's freezing cold. I'm hating it right now. I'm waiting for September to come so quickly that I can have warm weather again.
Yep. Yeah, it's cold here as well, but I imagine it's much, much worse down there.
10 times worse, especially in the morning, like minus now, so it sucks.
Yeah, no, thank you. You can keep that all to yourself. Thanks for joining me on the show today to chat about movies and their influence on your wrestling career. Before we sort of deep dive into that and focus on our subject for today, how big a part of your life are sort of TV and movies?
It used to be a big part of it, but ever since like getting into wrestling, training and all that and work, like it's kind of become a bit of a back burner because I focus a lot now on like sports and movies, maybe now and then movies and then sometimes music. But the sports element is usually where I go back to.
Yep. Yeah, and imagine you're constantly studying wrestling tapes and stuff like that, so there's not a lot of time for sit down and binge watch a TV series.
No, it's usually me watching. If I'm not watching wrestling, it's usually baseball now.
Yep.
Or footy.
Yep. And then today we're going for a slightly different approach as you're joining me to chat about Happy Gilmore as we gear up for the release of Happy Gilmore 2. When this episode comes out, it'll be coming out later this week. As such, how and when were you sort of first introduced to the original Happy Gilmore movie?
So funny enough, even though I'm born late night, like 98, I started watching it like in 2000s, like probably around the age of 5, because one of my parents thought it was a good idea, my dad. So hence I grew up with a lot of the Adam Sandler sports movies.
Yep.
And will forever binge watch them more than any other movie with his. So growing up, I would constantly watch like Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, and all that, Billy Madison. And I remember at times, like, if I was doing something now and then, I would go to the golf course with my dad. And I would actually, instead of being playing a normal round of golf, I would be trying the Happy Gilmore swing.
Yeah, I think everybody's tried the Happy Gilmore swing at least once.
I failed so much, and I still am trying to this day to get that swing down.
How often do you sort of rewatch the movie these days?
Probably once every few months.
Okay, so you are very well versed on Happy Gilmore leading into Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, it is probably one of the most quoted movies in my house.
And I guess to start watching it so young, there's nothing really too adult in this one. Like there's some sort of risky things, but nothing crazy.
No, nothing crazy. Like, unless you've got his happy place, which is a bit.
That's a bit risky. Yep.
Yeah, but otherwise you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, golf. All right, someone's got a nail in their head. Cool. Oh yeah, this guy is a bit of a jerk. All right, how the hell is he getting this golf ball in like one shot?
Yep.
And the classic, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
That's probably one of the like creepier parts of the movie, if anything.
It's creepier, but it's the most funniest part of the movie.
Given that you started watching it so young, what was it about Happy Gilmore that you found sort of so captivating, and why does it keep you coming back to it today?
I think that's one of the first movies I ever remember watching with my dad. And knowing golf was a bit of my dad's life, I was like, and Adam Sandler being his favorite comedian, it was always that lingering memory of just watching it with him randomly and then having a bit of a giggle. Then me and my friends trying the swing while our dads are all watching, being like, oh no.
Please don't break my golf clubs.
Pretty much, I got that one time.
I imagine he's probably just as excited for Happy Gilmore 2 as well. Are you sort of planning a family movie night for the release?
I mean, my dad's fortunately passed away
Oh,
for a few
sorry.
years. So, but he would have been at my place watching it.
So yeah, I went back and rewatched this over the weekend. A few of the things I noted down was looking back on it now, it's kind of funny that his grandmother owes $270,000 in back taxes, despite not paying her taxes for over a decade. So that seems shockingly low.
Tax fraud, you've got that check. Also, the treatment in the nursing home too, by Ben Stiller of all people.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how many people remember it, but like, you just see him like making phone calls, making everyone do like extra activity time, and the poor lady with the air conditioner being failed on her, just landing on her.
Yep, the Mr. Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically running like a sweatshop of grannies
people.
knitting blankets for people and profiting.
I mean, money is money. Except they don't get a cut.
Leading on from sort of, $270,000 doesn't seem like that. Like, it's a lot of money, but for not paying your taxes for over a decade, it seems low. And then that kind of leads into why he gets into golf at all. And then he's like winning ludicrously low amounts of prize money as well. Like, I think his first tournament, he wins like $1,200, and then he's getting like $4,000. I'm like, that seems scary low.
And then it adds more and more up, and then you're just getting like the Subway commercial too.
But like the prize money just is so low when you look at golf these days and the ridiculous amounts of money they win. Like, I looked it up. The average tour prize for the PGA now is $1.5 million per season, with a guaranteed minimum of $500,000. And Scott Scheffler, the highest earner in the 2022-23 season, earned over $21 million. So for Happy Gilmore to be trying to just win $270,000, I think these days he'd win like 2 tournaments and be all good. I can quit now.
Yeah. And then like as you're watching it, it's funny because he starts off wanting to be a hockey player of all things. It's all about hockey.
And yeah, I love his claim to fame is that he took his skate off once and tried to stab someone with it.
And then like you're seeing all the odd jobs he has in between, and they keep getting fired. All you see is him doing that one pose with various objects.
If Eleaine Hope was to randomly pick up a crazy weapon object in a wrestling match, what would it be?
Knowing me, a baseball bat. It makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
To me, like, I love my sports. It's a given. I mean, right now, I'm watching, when I have the chance, I'll watch football. Like, I'm watching football, but I'm also watching baseball because baseball season's on.
Yep.
And I'll be like, and knowing how many times also, like, I played it on the Wii Sports and then doing it at school too, playing softball was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, it would obviously have to be some sort of like sporting thing. Like it was either a baseball bat or like a hockey stick or something along those lines. It wasn't going to be, I'm going to pull out a hammer.
No, not one bit. It's that, I'm just going to get like a random dumbbell. Just be like,
yeah, just drop a great big dumbbell on someone's head.
No, just on their foot and watch them like just hold their foot for like 5 minutes.
One of the other things I laughed at while rewatching Happy Gilmore is I laughed at the reference to alligators on Florida golf courses, because that is such a true thing.
I mean, I haven't been to Florida, but everyone that's been is like, there's so many alligators there. I'm like, yep, great. I now have to worry about my first ever trip there, seeing a random alligator.
Oh yeah, I just every time I go to Florida, I'm like, oh, there's a body of water, there's alligators. I'm always just like, it feels safer to just assume that there's an alligator in there, and then if there's not, well, yay, but just assume there is.
And then like you watch that one episode of The Simpsons when they go to Florida and they kill the alligator, and you're like, oh no.
One of the times I went to Florida when I came out of the Orlando airport, there's some like lakes and stuff as you're on the monorail to get to baggage claim. And I saw an alligator out the window of the monorail. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely in Florida.
All right, that makes me feel 10 times better. I'm just going to see an alligator when I arrive. Cool.
Yep, immediately.
All right, I'm just going to randomly name it when I see it.
In the movie, we even see Happy wrestle an alligator too. So like, it's always fun to like, it ties back into wrestling in the smallest way possible.
I know, just some random headlock punches. Okay, also in the hockey scene, you see a bit of wrestling too when he starts like laying in the punches to the coach.
Yeah. And when he fights out Bob Barker as well.
Yeah.
Which is always a nice like surprise when
Highlight.
Bob Barker just decks him.
I know, you watch, always that scene has me laughing the most because it's the most weirdest scene you could, the most odd pairing to have, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
matter
so
how much you watch it.
I expected Bob Barker to just get dropped, and then he actually just lays him out.
Just sits up like the Undertaker of all people.
But the movie isn't just like silliness as well. It kind of touches on sort of there's a bit of racism in golf, and kind of the sexism around sport as well, with the PR lady basically just being spoken to like she doesn't exist by Shooter McGavin. Have you sort of had any experiences like that in wrestling?
I'm pretty lucky that I haven't because I've been in good environments. And maybe a couple of times at merch when I've been there, I've had the random pickup line or two. But like when it happens, someone's always over there being like, hi, who are you? But I haven't had to deal with it. And if I have, anytime like I remember recently had someone buy some merch of mine, send me a photo of it being in a folder and just putting the most randomest comment on there. I remember just going up to them and being like, hey, this dude's here. I'm not okay with it. And instantly they realized who they were, heard about the stuff they got up to, and instantly kicked them out. And I was like, cool. It's good. I can feel safe at a show, not only like working there as like helping out, but also as a worker too, because that stuff isn't tolerated, and I'm always trying to nip it in the butt.
It's very good that like the sort of environment has sort of evolved and changed in that way, where promoters are now not looking at, oh, but that's a ticket sale. Like they're just like, no, you don't deserve to be here if you're going to treat our talent like this.
Yeah, get out. No needed here.
And you mentioned sort of Subway is also a big part of this movie. What's Eleaine Hope's Subway order?
It's all veggie delight. So gotta have the avocado spread, toasted, cheddar cheese, carrots, lettuce, cucumber, olives, M&M cookie if they have it. And then depending on what's there, if it's SA, I'm grabbing a Farmers Union Strong because that's the stuff straining me. But normally it's either water or Gatorade.
Okay. That is much healthier than my order.
Well, I mean, I look at my options, and being vegetarian sometimes it's limited. So it's like if I just go for the safe option, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm a meatball guy, so yeah, mine is probably the unhealthiest thing on the Subway menu, but it's just delicious. And Shooter McGavin is clearly a Pepsi guy because he refuses anything else and asks for a Pepsi when he asks for a drink. Are you a Pepsi or a Coke girl?
Funny enough, I'm not a soft drink person at all.
Yeah, I should have known that when you're getting Gatorade with your Subway.
I mean, to be fair, if I'm getting stuff like outside of work, like work, training, and all that, I usually am grabbing like if there's a water, like an energy drink or two. So if it isn't like I can't get a Powerade, Gatorade, or I just need like energy boost, it's just like, all right, let me grab this can of Oxy Sweat, or I'll just drink that instead.
Speaking of Shooter McGavin, he kind of has one joke as well. That guy's seen more sand than David Hasselhoff. Do you have like a favorite or go-to joke?
To be fair, my jokes are usually just pun related.
Mhm.
And it'll be just of the most randomest thing wherever I'm at, and it'll land or it's just completely flattened, and I'll just be there like, well, I like my joke.
I found it funny. That's all that matters. You sound like my partner. She's very much the same. It's just constant puns, and she's just finds them hilarious, and everyone else is just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I think recently I had one good joke, everyone laughed at it, and the next one everyone's like, you should have just stayed with that joke.
You'd be happy with the one that worked. And then there was one thing else that I noticed on the rewatch too. Uh, Happy's first tournament, the Waterbury Open, is being led by a guy with the name K Apps, and I was like, "That's almost my name." I got irrationally excited for this, basically seeing my name on the scoreboard. I was like, "I'll take it."
It's like a future. It's like maybe one day I could be a pro golfer.
Oh, yeah, no, not with Michael. No.
So I also found it funny that mini golf is in this too.
Yep.
To practice putting of all places, it's mini golf.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna putt in probably the hardest conditions, mini golf is the place to do it, and that
Mm.
is clearly Happy's like weakness.
And it's like the entire time it's like, I'm just gonna hit a hole in one. And then you get to the end and it's practically a mini golf setting.
Mhm. Yep.
And you're just looking like, no way in the world they would actually allow this. Because if you watch actual, like if I was watching actual golf and that happened, they would just cancel that broadcast and just be like, "We'll come back tomorrow once it's all fixed up."
Yeah, yeah. When the publicist is like, "Yeah, we'll get a rain check. We'll come back tomorrow, and you can putt then." That is 100% what they would do. And even then, they would probably just have to give it a draw because the green would have potentially been damaged by the scaffolding falling on it. So they would have kind of just been, okay, we're just gonna split it."
And the punch buggy just driving all over it too.
Yeah, yeah. And earlier in that round, he got run over by a guy that somehow got his car onto the course, and they're like, "Oh, that's fine."
Oh yeah, we can allow like getting hit by a car, but just a random scaffolding, folding, being on the ground. Nah, let's pack it up, guys.
And on that, he sort of Happy has to battle through injury and pain after being hit by the car. Have you sort of had to fight through sort of any injuries or nagging pain during your wrestling career?
I mean, obviously I get bruised all the time, but that's just given.
Yep.
I'm lucky with wrestling. I haven't had any major injuries. I mean, the most injured prone I've been is probably when I played basketball, when I got like a hairline fractures an ankle, and then trying 1 week later being like, hey, I'm all good to play. I can play on a really bad ankle. It's just sprained, but obviously I got called out for that and being like, hey, we found out your doctor said no for 2 weeks, and it's like, yeah, but otherwise, yeah, it's mainly been sprains and maybe the odd bruise here and there.
Oh, that's very good. Continue on that path. Touch wood.
I'm hoping to.
This movie is also like a precursor to the Live Golf Tour versus the sort of the PGA Tour, where it's like the really stiff, regulated PGA Tour versus the like fun party atmosphere of the Live Tour. Before that was even an idea. Is there sort of a particular promotion where you kind of have the most fun performing?
I tend to have fun at every promotion I work in, so it's kind of even. Like Mayhem's my home. I've been wrestling at Peaks just started, so wrestling there's been interesting at times. So is Alpha, but like getting around, traveling like to All Stars, Southern Territory. It's also fun when going interstate. Like
Mhm.
I kind of branded Southern Territory as my home away from home.
Yep.
So going over there, catching up with everyone and all that. It's always been always that little bit more fun because it's like, oh yeah, I get to leave Victoria for like a day or two, but it's fun because it's something different, and it gets me out of my environment too.
Yeah, it's like the best learning experience too, because it's not with an audience that knows everything that you do and everything that you've done previously. It's all new and fresh.
And it's always something different too.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, you're probably working with other people that you don't regularly work with, so it's their approach to things might be totally different as well.
Yeah, and it's fun also learning how they do things and how I do things and how we combine them together.
Yep.
At the end of the day, and then be like, hey, this was fun. Let's do it again.
Are you a trading card collector or a fan of Australian pro wrestling? If so, you're not going to want to miss out on the limited edition Australian wrestling cards. Each set includes 50 packs of 10 cards, including some of the country's top wrestling talents like Robbie Eagles, Shane Haste, Madison Eagles, Hartley Jackson, and they have Shaza McKenzie listed, although she is not a favorite. The Velocities, and a lot more. There's wrestlers, referees, announcers, commentators that are featured, giving you a full appreciation of the Australian independent scene. The cards sold out a lot faster because cards are hot right now, as I'm sure Jeremy Lambert will tell you. But you can order your Australian wrestling cards now at Pario Magazine. That's PARIO magazine.com.au/AUSWRES cards. That link is in our description below. You'll also be able to see it in the replies on Twitter. Follow Australian Wrestling Cards on social media at AusResCards for updates. Join the hundreds of fans who have already discovered the excitement of Australian wrestling cards.
And sort of on that idea of fun, ultimately the movie is about having fun and enjoying what you do. Is that sort of something you're now focusing on with wrestling as well?
Right now, like I am focusing on multiple things, like building the brand of Hope, while also focusing on my brand. But at the end of the day, that is probably one of the main things I want to focus on. Like, not is having fun with it while having that balance. Because when I'm not at training and all that, I'm constantly working on merch designs. I'm constantly working on how to do things better, promos, how to edit better, anything that I can do, like even drawing myself, like anything that I can improve on, I'm constantly trying to do that.
Does that come from the mayhem coaches and things as well, where they're very much like try and just find different ways to improve and make yourself valuable to promotions as well?
Yes, that's part of it, but also I've always been that type of person, like very hands-on. Like I've got to have a lot of control of what I do. Like I'm so, especially when it comes to being able to draw myself, like I'm so picky when I'm drawing. Like I go to the littlest detail. I'll be there with like, I'll be on the iPad, like drawing to the littlest detail, making
Like
sure it
zoom
looks
all the way in, so it's like 3 pixels.
pretty much. I'll just be there, make sure it looks perfect.
Obviously, with the sequel coming up, how are you feeling about the upcoming Happy Gilmore 2?
I'm looking forward to it because it's like, it's nostalgia where I get to watch a movie that I've grown up with, adored, and everything, while seeing like a bit of a family side to it. Like, what will the family do just to get to it, to support the other one, which is kind of relevant to me because my family is very supportive with wrestling, surprisingly, and all that. And they're constantly trying to do what they can to do to support me. Like if it's buying my merch, coming to shows, let alone asking, hey, do you need help with this? Do you want us to look at this for you?
Have you sort of graduated on Adam Sandler movies to movies like Uncut Gems and stuff as well?
I loved Uncut Gems. I was like one of the few people who was scared, thinking this is a very serious Adam Sandler role. He's not doing comedy. I don't know how I feel about this, but watching it, I was like, oh no, I want more serious Adam Sandler films. Because it's like watching Chris Rock do like Sparrow. That was like, okay, what universe am I in that Chris Rock isn't a horror movie?
Yep.
And he, like, for me, like, I love this. but I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if sort of some of that more serious acting comes across in Happy Gilmore too, or if it just goes back to the old school 90s comedy Adam Sandler.
I wouldn't mind a mix of both, because I feel like when you're watching like the trailer, yes, you get the goofy side, but it's really homing on family. So like, I really want that little bit of seriousness in it, like especially knowing he's trying to get his daughter to ballet school. Like, that's it's a lot to do, especially when you look at the house and everything and the beat up car.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, there's got to be some seriousness in this.
Do you have sort of any theories or predictions on how Shooter McGavin is going to come back into it and play into the movie?
I'm hoping it's not where they do a legacy, where they bring both of them back to the tour. I think it's just, I'm hoping it's more like he's having to face like some ghosts in his past to get
Mhm.
to really meet up with the current talent of proper talent within golf now. So,
Mhm.
because obviously maybe you don't know if Gavin's was playing longer after maybe Happy retired or something. Like Gavin continued while Happy left.
Yeah, because like Happy really only got into it to save his grandmother's house. They don't like say whether he continued on after that. Like it was a success, so you'd be silly not to continue. But he really doesn't like golf. He's just doing it as an ends to the goal. Whereas Shooter is kind of like he has to suffer that like embarrassment of losing to him after talking up how he's going to win the gold jacket. Did he then like continue on just to try and get that and never really get to the peak he wanted?
And then you're also looking at like what else happened like after the first film.
Yeah, so
Like,
I'm very excited for the sequel.
I can't wait. Yeah, that's already saved on my watch list.
Yep.
The moment it was available to save, I was like, save.
Yep. Yeah, so as soon as it's out, open Netflix, it's going to be right there, ready to go.
Oh no, I'm gonna look forward to that Friday night. I've got it all planned out.
So obviously with Live via Satellite, it's about how you've taken inspiration from movies and stuff. How have you taken inspiration from Happy Gilmore for Eleaine Hope, the wrestler?
I mean, when I first started, I was a bit more serious with Elaine, and it was like I remember talking to Fresh, and he's like, add more of you to it, and I'm like, okay, what's the stuff that you love and all that? And I'm like, okay, 90s comedies are like one of my biggest aspirations. Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite films to watch. So I was like, I should just embrace the goofy side of me because I do have it. When I'm out of the ring, like I'm probably like I'm doing the most silliest things on the planet. Like I'll be in the kitchen while cleaning, just dancing or practicing something so ridiculous that I'll have people, either my neighbor will walk into the house and be like shooting me or being like, what the heck?
Mhm.
Or Lockie being like just laughing his head off.
Yep.
While my dog's like super confused. And then I was like, okay, Happy's a real goofball. He also has a morbid sense of humor,
Mhm.
which valid. I can't talk because I have one of the most morbid sense of humor on the planet.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right, if I can bring that into a lane in some aspects, let's do it. So it shows that she actually isn't just just a typical normal jock in a way. She's actually, just a jock. Like, yeah, she is a jock, but she's also got that side of her that's personable.
Is that sort of the best piece of advice you've been given to sort of bring more of your real life personality into the character and not have them be these two very separate things?
It's probably the best piece of advice I've ever got given because ever since getting that feedback, I've looked at Elaine 10 times. I look at her so much. I look at myself 10 times differently now.
Mm.
I'm no longer so serious and all that. I'm like, all right, I'm serious when I need to be, but I'm also having fun when I need to be.
I imagine that makes it easier to portray the character too, because it is kind of just an extension of you. It's not, okay, what would I do if I was the total opposite of my real life?
Yeah, and I was like, when I was doing it, I was like, I remember one time just thinking, this is not me. I need to go look at myself in the mirror and be like, what is me? And then I was like, what do I do every day? And then what am I like here and here? And then here. And I'm like, all right, I just need to be, I was like, that light bulb switch. I was like, okay, I definitely need to stop doing this.
There are a few characters in the movie like Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin, Virginia, Chubbs, Grandma Gilmore, and we mentioned the Mr. lady. Do you have like a favorite character from the movie? And which one do you think you most closely resemble?
I would probably I'm pretty sure I've had this conversation where I got told I was like Veronica a lot because like, she's very serious within the movie, but she also has that side of her where once you get to, you like break down all the walls, she's actually very playful and giddy and all that.
Yep.
And she's like caring and all that, which I'm very much so in real life because I'm always like making sure everything's okay as well as everyone else. I'm constantly like, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? But favorite character, it's funny enough, I love the two moving guys who are making the bets at the start of the movie who convinced him to go after it.
Yep.
Because really, if it wasn't for them, Happy wouldn't really go for golf.
No, absolutely not.
So
and that's one of the funniest scenes too, when he drives the ball, hits the window, then hits the guy that owns their house, and then hits his wife.
It's like, and they're constantly betting on it, which leads into the driving range where everyone's like, and he's like, come try and beat the ball whacking long guy.
Yep.
And then you get Chubbs, which is so memorable.
Oh yeah, he's a great character as well.
And then you see him with the student he's got, and she's just doing so awful.
And he just does not care. He's just like, yeah, you're doing great. Well done.
And then he sees Happy, he's like, yep.
Yeah, this is a guy that I can actually invest in, and
it's
not a waste of my. It's not a waste of my like skills and time too, because it's actually going to achieve something and help him.
Exactly.
If there was an Australian wrestling golf tournament, which sort of wrestlers would round out the field of Happy Gilmore-esque characters? So if you're Virginia, who else would fill out that?
I would put JXT as Chubbs because he's my coach. Was making sure that we're always getting better in everything. Shooter's hard. I wouldn't know who to put Shooter as. Shooter's annoying. That's my one problem.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy loves finding new ways of getting under Shooter's skin.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably put that down as Johnny Rocco.
Yep.
Because I constantly am the person that will find new ways to annoy Rocco at shows. No matter what I do, it's always something new. Like, he'll do something and I'll be like, hey, Rocco. And I guess in tribute to the hey, Jackass guy in the film.
Yep.
If it's the grandma, I know she's my big sister. I would put that as Erica.
Yep.
Because she generally does. She's one of the most caring people in the scene. My big sister and all that. I feel like she just embraces everything Erica is. Caring, but also a bit sassy at times.
Yeah. And yeah, like his grandma is just there. She just wants him to be happy. She doesn't care if he does well. And like, I feel like Erica's kind of that with everyone. She just wants everyone to enjoy what they're doing and make sure they're all safe and everything.
Oh, she's very much like that. I think we'll both be at a show and we'll be like, You good, sis? Yeah, I'm good, sis. You good, sis? I'm happy. I feel like there's so many people that could be like a mixture of like Happy Gilmore. Like you've got Funtime Phil, Happy Kai.
I feel like Funtime Phil's a good one where it's like some guy that you just see on the street and you go, oh, he's not a wrestler. And then he gets in the ring and he's one of the most entertaining people there. You're like, oh yeah, cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I could definitely see Phil as Happy actually. Especially when plus I would love to see Phil try the Happy Gilmore swing. Because it'd be the most funniest attempts on the planet.
Have you sort of incorporated any inspiration for Eleaine Hope from any other movies or forms of entertainment as well?
Heavily with music, because I don't have a lot of time for TVs and movies. I find myself going back to music a lot. So depending what it is, some days I'll constantly be looking like, oh, how can I incorporate like this music into my gimmick, or I could probably use this for a promo. So it's very weird because like I've tried using Idols, which is one of my all-time favorite bands. Even though because I can happily say I've been to every single show they've had in Melbourne on their tours. Like every tour in Melbourne, I'm there straight away. At least one of the shows, I'll be like, hey, I'm here. Right now, a lot of like Lady Gaga getting the new album, Bring Me the Horizon. I'm trying to think what other bands I've been listening to lately. Lately, Paris, Percy the Veil, like growing up with those type of bands, they were always like the bands I would go to in high school. My Chemical Romance.
Yep.
And then, which is weird because then you also see me trying to incorporate Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, all the most diverse range of music taste, and it's like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's kind of like a Craven who has like the goth crow inspired character, but then comes out to like Taylor Swift songs. What is happening?
Oh yeah, I love Craven's such a good guy. I mean, like that was probably how we made our friendship, was because of Taylor Swift. So
yep.
But though, yeah, I'll constantly be trying to find like, oh, how can music's one of them. Now and then maybe a bit of gaming, but it'd probably be more like, how can I add Katana into Eleaine?
Yep.
Considering she's my all-time.
Obviously, like sport too, with the wrestling gear is very sort of sport, AFL, football attire inspired.
So got my first set of gear was my hometown of Meningie. Team no longer exists, unfortunately. So I was like, how can I pay tribute to a place that has so much meaning to me? So I was like, all right, let me get my hometown. I had the hometown Guernsey, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my bears done. That was always the first thing I always said was my first set of gear is gonna be related to home. And I was like, nothing makes more sense than having the Meningie Bears, which I also cop a lot for being Fitzroy. Old school Fitzroy, and I'm just like, no, it's Meningie. But then I've got the Chicago Bulls gear.
Yep, that's the one I was like thinking of as well.
But I want to dabble into more like sports I love, so going to like see if I can get Cubs gear. Even though I'm not, it's funny, I want Lakers gear because I've got the Jordans to match with them.
Yep.
And then
also Cubs gear, good choice. That's my team.
Yeah. I love my Cubs. Like I was like crying today during the game. I was like, no, and then I saw the replay. I was like, no, please turn this off.
Yep.
It was a hard day today for a Cubs fan. And
then like, I imagine hockey would be on the list at some point as well, and things like that.
Blackhawks. I will admit, I'm just a Chicago girly.
Yep.
Once I pick a city, I gotta stick with the city. So eventually I'm gonna get Bears gear because I've looked into that. I'm like, and then I've looked in Guernsey, so I was like, oh, that's a bit much.
Yeah, you gotta hit up those somewhat dodgy online sites to get them at an affordable rate.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, I'm like, I don't want to use my Afterpay account because that account's like, please stop using me.
As we sort of close out, if we look ahead, what's in store for you in wrestling in late July, early August?
Alpha's coming up next month. I've got Peak weekly now because that's a weekly show now. So I'm missing out
Awesome.
this week, but I'll be back on the 5th. And then MXW on July 11th.
How helpful has sort of having a weekly wrestling event been for everyone?
Something new. It gives one more time to be in the ring and everything, develop, like hone your craft and everything. So it's Peak. I loved it. I think of it as like a love letter to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have your comedy matches and all that, but you also have like the matches where they're a bit serious as well.
Yep.
So you get a mixture of everything, but it's been great because it's like, oh, it's another week. I can go wrestle somewhere.
And I guess it also lets you tell sort of longer, more detailed stories and develop the character more because it's not just, okay, we're in this promotion, we're wrestling maybe once a month. Like at least if it's weekly, you can do those longer drawn out stories and have more character growth.
I mean, I know with Eleaine, she's definitely realized what type of men she doesn't like, doesn't want to deal with, unfortunately. She's had to learn that real quickly. But it's really, for me, it's like, oh, I know what Elaine's like when she's really ticked off. Everyone saw, like, one week I'm just like, hell have no fury like a woman scorn. And the next week you just see me in a room just beating up the director and everything.
Mm-hmm. So finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track your wrestling journey moving forward?
Mayhem, Alpha, Heat in Melbourne,
mm-hmm.
and MXW. Those are the best places to see me because I'm always there in some type of way. If I'm going interstate, I try, which is rarely, but I am trying to make the push to go more interstate as well because I've got a couple goals this year. One of them is to wrestle in SA. Maybe because it's my home at the end of the day, like proudly South Australian, which is funny because I live in Melbourne of all places.
Yep.
But yeah, those are the places I'm mainly at. So that's where you can come support me, watch me. If you want to also help me annoy certain wrestlers, please do. I love doing that.
And socials, where's the best place for people to find you on the internet as well?
So X, it's Eleaine_Hope. And the rest of them is pretty much Eleaine Hope PW.
All right, we'll put all those in the episode. Thank you everyone else for listening to the commentary booth live via satellite. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. And you can follow me on social media at JamMeUpsMedia and at Pario Magazine.